Why is the Messiah crucified? The Gospels answer this question. After Jesus' people turn against him, and the people prefer to release Barabbas, the traitor and murderer, instead of Jesus, it states, "And as they led him, Jesus, away, and there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Jesus, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bare, and the paps which never gave suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, cover us." So on his march to the cross, Jesus warns the women of his people, which in this case would be the black women of the Western Hemisphere, of two dreadful events prophesied to occur. The first is mentioned in verse 29, as we just read. Now, the context of this specific warning is described in the Gospel of Matthew. We just read from the Gospel of Luke. Again, the word has many connections. Well, it states in the Gospel of Matthew, "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation," Jesus is prophesying to the people, "spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand." Then he later says, "And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days." Now, we can all agree that this never occurred historically. Therefore, it is either occurring right now at this present time, or it is to occur in some distant future. But the global conditions today are ripe for the fulfillment of this prophecy. Therefore, in the fulfillment of this prophecy, the Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, is telling, and he has also told us and the American people, that war is on the horizon. This war of desolation is where millions of sons of the daughters of Jerusalem are destined to be slaughtered. Now, one thing I thank Allah for, at least at this moment, is that with the COVID-19 crisis, sport and play has nearly been eliminated. So we have time to think on more serious matters than who in the hell did a backflip in a dunk, or who got knocked out yesterday in a fight. Because you best believe we need to be thinking about what I'm telling you right now. Is in front of your face if you just open your eyes and stop believing your mortal enemy and their schemes. I'm talking to my people, the black people of the Western Hemisphere. Now, according to the book of Daniel, this great war is tied to the Messiah's crucifixion and his departure from among the people. Now, we'll read from Daniel. It states, "And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. And the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war desolations are determined. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation. And that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." Now, even if you don't understand the meaning of this prophecy, on face value, it seems pretty frightening, doesn't it? Well, how many of these events have occurred? Has the Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, been cut off? What constitutes this cutoff? Was it his announcement at the Savior's Day convention held this past February that this would be his last Savior's Day? Was that his cutoff? Has the city and the sanctuary been destroyed? What has been the consequences of the government's response to COVID-19? Have the economic, political, education, and religious institutions been destroyed? Well, in the previous message, we explained how this flood that comes is not a physical flood caused by rain, but a flood of slander aimed at severing the black people of the Western Hemisphere from the Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. That is what the flood is all about. Because white people generally don't care anything about any of us anyway. Although during the flood, they'll pretend to be so concerned about your well-being, as they always are. Pretending. Again, this is a world that reflects their Halloween holiday. Costumes everywhere. Well, this flood is intrinsic to the crucifixion, where the Messiah's own people are predicted to foolishly yell, "Crucify him," not realizing that the Messiah's objective was to save them from the great war of desolation, which includes civil war and civil strife, right here in the United States.